Hola, Ruidositas. Hoy estamos con NIKKO Blue en nuestro nuevo podcast, Por Amor al Arte. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Alex. I play guitar and I sing.
I'm Gavin. I play bass.
I'm Nick, and I also play guitar.
Awesome.
Not pictured today is our boy Logan.
On drums, Logan.
On drums.
Yes.
Original founding member even, yeah.
Ooh, that's awesome. He's here in spirit. So to get started, how did NIKKO Blue meet? How did the foundation happen? How did you guys come to be NIKKO Blue?
Totally. Well, I've been knowing Logan for a long time. Him and I used to work at like a retirement home in high school, like as like dining service.
Yeah.
So we would fuck around really hard. It was funny. But like we never really played music with each other until much later, around 2020. Like COVID shit happened. I went back to my parents' place for a little bit. I was looking for people to make music with because I feel like there's like bouts of me wanting to make music, and this was one of those bouts where I was like, yo, I just really want to work with people. So I hit up Logan, and he invited me over to his house. We kind of jammed a little bit, showed me his friends. It all worked out really well, and yeah, I don't know. It kind of just was like a nice little like DIY thing. I always try to do things yourself, for better or worse, but that's always been the thing. It's always been very low pressure. Always been very chill. Like it is, how we want it to be. It's fun.
And I see you have a new member here. Nick, how has your integration to NIKKO Blue been?
Honestly, it's been great. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to play with. What he was just talking about a minute ago about the DIY nature of the project, that was one thing that definitely appealed to me right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think that the more, not that like record labels and all these things are unimportant, but the more of that there is, the more you kind of detach yourself from your work, I feel like. So
Had you been in the scene already, or were you parts of like other music?
I hadn't been in a while. I was living in Denver for a few years.
Nice.
I had just moved back to Chicago a few years prior.
Yeah.
Hadn't really been doing anything in the music scene per se. And then, started talking to Gavin and been getting back into it, which has been really nice.
How long have you played guitar?
Probably just under 20 years or so. Like 2006, I want to say. 2007. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. I feel like I've probably, I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. Like as like a kid,
Yeah.
just playing guitar.
Something you've always known.
Yeah. And when you think about it that way, I'm like, holy hell, I'm like unreasonably bad for having been playing this long.
I feel the same way about
Yeah.
myself all the time.
It's funny too, because Logan, like, he always tells me, he's like, I'm hardly even a drummer. I'm like, what do you fucking mean? Like, you riff? He's like, I only play when I'm on to play with you guys type thing. He's like really only really played like for the life of the band. It's kind of funny too. Logan's cool.
Yeah. And on that note, when we were trying to find, we didn't speak about Jake, our former guitar player, who
True.
unfortunately is right now partaking in Arizona.
He's an
activities,
Arizona man.
And I will
Okay.
not elaborate on what he's doing in Arizona. But, we weren't looking like, oh, we need this technical ability. Like, Alex and I were just talking with Logan, and I was like, I got this guy at work who's, like, super cool, and I feel like we'll all be friends, and that was the most important thing.
Yes.
And it's been exactly that. Like, I think the whole reason we got back together as a band is because we were just looking for an excuse to hang out, and it just kind of, led to writing new songs and jamming, and we were like, I guess we should play a show to
That's kind of
excuse
exactly,
everything we've been doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no one ever, I certainly didn't sit down and I was like, we have to play a show. Because I feel like, I don't know, you guys kind of get my, like, style at this point on leading. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, it is what it is. We have fun. And, like, I like being proud of what we do. But yeah, man, I love working with Nick. Nick's sick. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a receptive nature in musicians that I really respect that you don't get everywhere. I've met like really, really like not to say Nick's not technically talented. You're very technically talented, but like
Technically, you're talented.
technical ability. But like there's like technical ability, and then there's like, do I like this motherfucker?
Yeah.
And then there's like, can this person like listen to me? Like not even like listen and do what I say, but like are the things that don't have to be spoken into word. And I feel like that's something that I always kind of caught on with you. And it's like the organicisms that come into being with a band, and that's also kind of like what I love about like being with Gavin as a whole. Like, I don't know, Gavin and I, Been there. We've
Aw.
been there. I
Yeah.
don't know. We've been through it.
Besties.
Yeah.
We've been playing music in several projects for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a few. Actually, I think you're the person I've been in most bands with. It's always been sick. But yeah, quick one. Pour one out for my boy Jake.
For Jake, yeah.
Jake
Shout
Finley.
out Jake.
Shout out Arizona. Shout out Cobra King.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I always tell my Ruidosa team too, like, why do things if you're not going to have fun? I mean, it's cool to, pull in numbers and do all the technical logistics stuff, but really like the forefront of everything, I think, and I heard reflected in your answers were, have fun, hang out with your friends. And we love the DIY aspect and culture of it too. So how did you guys come up with the name NIKKO Blue?
Totally. So the NIKKO Blue is actually a specific varietal of the hydrangea flower. Of course, it is a blue hydrangea flower. And like one of the things that I call it symbolism. There's a lot of like associative things that I find in my life where like, you see something, it looks like something that you saw as a child. It looks like something you've just seen a lot. In my mother's garden, a lot growing up, there was like always hydrangea flowers. And then at the time where like I was pulling together the band with Logan, I was living in Humboldt Park, and there's a lot of hydrangea flowers out and about. I'm like, I really like hydrangeas. I think they're a cool flower because like they puff up and then eventually like they wilt, and it's just like the little stem on the inside. It looks so big, but it's actually like really small. And I was like, that's kind of a cool concept, the way it withers away. And then I was looking into it, I'm like, are there blue hydrangeas? Like, and there are. And then but what was kind of cool about it was the NIKKO blue hydrangea symbolizes fragility and like kind of like a delicate nature to being a flower. And a lot of the early music was like really based on like the process of kind of like self-acceptance, I'd like to think, and coming to terms with like, who I am at the time, and like, for better or worse, kind of loving myself, and just kind of like making the most of it. So I thought that really fit. And I just think it's a pretty badass flower. Yeah, so that's where the name comes from. And I ended up getting like a little like hydrangea. It's not a NIKKO blue hydrangea tattoo on my leg, but yeah,
That
it's a
is
special
so
one.
cool. I would have never guessed that. I actually didn't really even know, but I always wondered that. I was like, I wonder how they got that name. But
Well,
that
you
is,
don't think I like flowers?
well, I don't know. No, I know you like flowers, Alex. Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, this is like a fun question. If NIKKO Blue were a film, what would the opening scene look like?
I'm giving this one to my boy Gavin,
Let's
the
go,
film buff.
Gavin.
Let's see. Well, the opening scene would look a lot like, the 1997, 1998 Chicago Bulls. Can I play this
You can
song?
play it. You can play it.
True.
No, I
Think about a
I
big
don't
Benny
worry
the
about
Bull,
it.
a big Benny the Bull showing up, like the one in Space Jam, not the
Yeah.
one that they put in the games.
This makes a lot of sense. Go ahead, Gavin.
I want to hear Gavin's rationale for this.
So
let's
we'd
see.
be coming out. NIKKO Blue. NIKKO Blue. We'd come out. Speed Kitchen. August of 2023. Little do we know that this is about to be the last show.
No.
This is the last hurrah. This is 3 years ago.
Yes,
for
no.
clarification.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
And then, we play our last show. We come out to this song, and then 3 years later, we're playing the show that we're here to promote now.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Gavin. I love it.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. We've been to Bulls games together too.
That's
Well, yeah, we just went to a Bulls game this year.
It was
wait,
sick.
all of you guys together?
Logan was not there.
This is true, yeah.
Logan's a busy boy. Logan
Yeah.
is like a entrepreneur.
Yes,
He like is
yes,
a
yes.
coffee man.
Plug him up.
alright?
Plug him up.
Owl and Lark Coffee. If you're ever in the near west suburbs, I tell you what, you get your ass to Owl and Lark Coffee on the Grange Road.
Yes.
Best coffee in the area, straight up. And I lived in that area for a minute. You cannot get good coffee that's not from that shop for like a solid like 15-minute drive. All the coffee out there is booty, and he's holding it down.
Yeah.
And then also the shop's cute. Shop's super
It's
cute.
so cute.
You're doing a great job plugging Logan's business right
I
now.
love it. I've been going there since before he owned it,
Yeah,
too. That was
and
the
his
thing.
the matcha is so good too because I've had a lot of the
He
matcha
has my boy
lattes.
Robin, or had my boy Robin's photography in there from Nepal.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Shout out Robin,
Robin.
Jam Cattell.
Robin Jam Cattell, jamcattell.tiff, I think, on Instagram or whatever. He's my boy.
Yeah.
I've been skating with him for like.
Well, his account got hacked on Instagram for.
Well, follow the hacked account. Even.
Just look him up.
I've been skating with him for ages too, and then Logan also put up Pete Flowers art in Owl and Larkin. Pete Flowers did like the bulk of our early like album like artwork too.
Oh my
It was
god.
cool. Pete Flowers, NIKKO Blue is the flower. Pete Flower was the boy. We partied with Pete Flowers like a year ago. It was great. Unrelated.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I love when coffee shops like have like local artists or support that scene too. I feel like they go hand in hand. So you guys were on a hiatus, can we call it that?
Sure.
Sure. Gavin touched on it. And what do you think the silence revealed that, while you guys were making music was not revealed? Like what happened during the hiatus? What revelations came from it?
I feel like you and I kind of had conversations about like what is making music the right way for us and what's making it the wrong way. And not saying what's the wrong way for us is the right or wrong way for other people, but there was stuff we saw that maybe we didn't align in. Podcasts, for example.
Influencers.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of, we were like, wait, we can be, content and happy in life just writing songs that we enjoy writing. And it wasn't like for other people or like, does this even need to be released? It was just like the fact that we could order a pizza and hang out and write a song. And I still feel like even if we're playing short shows or doing whatever, that's like always going to be at the heart of it. And I think not playing shows for 3 years really was like, this is what we liked the most. At least that's kind of my takeaway.
Yeah. At any point in the 3 years, because that's an extensive amount of time, did you guys think like you guys were not going to get back together, or how did that conversation come about?
Man, I have a lot of it. I have a lot on that. I think it was a product of burnout, but also like I was pretty adamant at a good point, being like, I don't give a shit if I ever come back like that. Like I don't care if I release more music, because the thing isn't that like I wasn't not playing music. I was writing music that whole time and having fun with it and like playing with like Gavin, sending things to like people. Like I was still like locked in writing music. I feel like my like kind of like creative like journey like never ceased, but I really started to have dissonance towards the idea of like having a persona or like having like an entity as a creative entity. I saw like a lot of people that like, this is kind of what you were saying, like that we would work with, not even people that we worked with, say anybody's doing something bad, but like the thought where like I have to keep up an image for something associated to a creative endeavor that takes up more time than actually doing the creative endeavor.
Work. Yeah.
It becomes work. Yeah. You kind of get at odds with your homies.
Yeah.
And when you're like playing in a DIY band, something that comes up, it's like, yeah, you're just playing shows. That's everything about it. And it is kind of everything about it. But like really quick that becomes like too much compared to actually writing the music.
Right.
So I was very disenfranchised with that. Yeah. And then like to answer your like direct question, like was there a time when you're never gonna come back? Like, yeah, there's a lot of times where I talked with Gavin, like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't really want to do any of this shit. I don't want to play in any of these bands. Like, I don't want to do anything aside from just like release music that I want to listen to, and, like, or not even maybe just make the music that I want to listen to and learn about it, geek out, and have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that was actually like the most wholesome part of like my like musical experience, was kind of just detaching from everything. Like,
Yeah,
it felt really
awesome.
good. Felt really good to be like in hiatus, and then. I don't know. I still have like it's weird to be like excited about like playing live and have a bunch of friends who are like hitting me up like, oh my god, I'm so excited about this. I'm like,
yes.
I'm excited too, but like I'm as excited as I was not doing it too. Like it's really weird.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like now when we're doing stuff, to touch on that, like it's become more about the creative process than the end result.
Yes.
Like we could write a song and it be a complete failure, but like maybe we tried something new or we tried something with mixing that like we're learning. It's just like, I think we're just like enjoying day-to-day life, so to speak, and that's more integrated into what we're doing with music. I guess, I don't know, I don't want to sound egotistical by saying this, but it does feel like when we approach it this way, it's more approaching music in its like purest form, and it's it's not even for us or anybody. It just kind of is what it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
Totally.
sense.
Yeah, I mean, you just said it. It's one of those things where it just feels good to do and not overthink about it, because I've just seen so many like falling outs, crashing out, like people like being at odds with their friends, and it's like, people say in like marriages, like sometimes you fall out of love with your spouse or whatever. I feel like we took some time to like fall in love with like being with each other, like in that sense, and like
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
it's like
Yeah, they say that most couples, if they break up at least once, that they're more likely to last longer.
Gavin
Right,
and I have
that's-
almost
yeah.
broken up a few times
Oh
now.
no.
Yeah.
Who looked for who?
I feel like both of us.
I mean, that's just the course of how
Yeah,
friendships work.
dude.
Everything's up and downs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you describe NIKKO Blue sound like? Especially with everything you guys just said, coming back from the hiatus and all of these added elements. Yeah. What would be that sound?
I guess like indie emo post,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that would be if I had gun to my head, what I would define it as. But that kind of just touches on a lot of things. It's like there's been a few sounds, like I don't know, like I feel like I've like lived and died by like the like have a bunch of different like kind of sounds, and
Yeah.
like some people have given me shit, some people have not given me shit. I don't really care. It's the sounds that I want to have, but like definitely started as like an indie emo project, and then like a lot of post-hardcore influence, but even like more modern, like the newer songs are like more like post-punky and stuff.
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten into that production without being too like in the weeds as far as like being too like I guess like drum bass like kind of centric on that. But yeah, I think that it's really cool when bands have like a single cohesive sound. But I don't know, I try not even to look at this as a band, as just a vehicle to like push out the shit I want to listen to in the moment, and it's a reflection of what you want to listen to at the time, really.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things, because we took a 3-year hiatus, is that we've all been discovering more and more music, and there's been new influences coming in. But something that's always inspired me with music is there's this quote about Robert Smith from The Cure,
My boy
where he
drops this
says,
all the time.
yeah, that he thinks he's one of the greatest guitar players of all time, not due to any technical ability, because when he strums a chord, you're like, that's The Cure. You know, they've had like jazzy songs like that Love Cat song, and then they have the more like emotional stuff, but it always kind of sounds like The Cure. And I feel like what's really fun about making music with Alex is that he allows the people he collaborates to bring their own influence in, but he still kind of maps it into the sound that he's pretty consistent with. It's a
Right.
sound that I really love. It's a sound that I really enjoy making with Alex. And I think this new iteration has all new influences coming in from different stuff since that hiatus, but it still kind of sounds like NIKKO Blue,
Right.
even if it's totally different song structures and like new genres and stuff.
True. And like I feel like Gavin's compelled me to listen to a lot of music in this hiatus too. Like I don't know, we've been really into like physical media hoarding, and like
Yes, yeah.
I don't know, I'm like I'm sending Gavin like the zip files of albums.
Yeah.
Like here's an Electric Wizard Stoner Sludge album that I really like check the shit out. Like
Well, I got you for your birthday a Mogwai CD and Guided by Voices, Alien Lands. Yeah.
I've had a few, unfortunately too many cars in the last like 4 years, but
Yeah.
the persistent 2 ones I've had are Honda CRVs from like 2005, and like they have like tape decks and CD players. So like Gavin got me like some really really good CDs. The Mogwai and Guided by Voices records are like.
Yeah.
He also got me a Place to Bury Strangers
Place to Bury
too,
Strangers,
and those
yeah.
are fucking sick. And that was like
Yeah.
one of my favorite birthday gifts I'd like received like in
Aw.
general, just because I don't know, I burned them. I have them on my phone. I listen to them and shit, and then I like throw them on my car and stuff too. Like hoard more physical media.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. We need to do that.
Especially with everything that's happening right now.
Can we go into it?
Yeah. Just here's the real stuff. We're in a time where if you have a platform to have your voice heard, it's extremely important to use it for those without voices. Collect media that has talked about the past, because the past definitely reflects on the future and the present. There's a lot of stuff that I think is going to be banned or harder to find over time. So
That's the game.
if you can
It's
keep
already
this,
happening.
keep
It's already
it.
happening.
It's already happening. Keep it alive. You know, I think even though we're not a punk band, like I think all the spirit of punk rock definitely influences me in my day-to-day life. I look at punk it doesn't have to be music. It's just a platform to use your voice to express the discontent with the systems in place around you. And that could be through painting. It could be through stand-up comedy even. It could be literally anything. There's so many different ways to approach it. Yeah, I think physical media is a huge proponent of that. And it's really important right now.
Yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
on the like you know, sorry to be like woo woo or nothing, but like on streaming shit, like it's curated.
Yeah.
It's curated whether you like it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Things are inaccessible, and there's supposedly convenient reasons for it. But like, if you go out of your way to find a physical or to find it on Internet Archive or something, like listen to like things from different cultures, listen to things from different people, and you don't have to necessarily like believe everything you listen to, but like experiencing it, take the sentiment, like you even said like listen to stand up comedy and such. Like I've been least recently doing like deep dives
Ooh.
into like 2000s and 90s stand up comedy, and it's kind of controversial and weird sometimes. But like Paul Mooney, for example, like very controversial figure in many ways. There's some universal truths that like you might need to be listened to, and I think that like it's a disservice for you to not lend an ear.
Yeah.
Like don't let other people kind of like tell you what to do, and read some fucking books. I don't know, read some books.
Read a book.
Well, yeah, and it's
Read another book.
It's important also to look back and say, okay, what couldn't have been said back then and can be said now, or what could be said vice versa, Yeah, and just the blunt truth is that you can't be surveilled for your physical media collection like you can do
know
online.
your internet search history.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like
Yeah.
really, like, and like what you said about like like learn about the past, because like if you don't, you're doomed to repeat it. Like I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
it's so true, and like I don't know, the powers that be don't want you to be educated on this. Like you have to take it on yourself to be educated. It's like one thing to like listen to punk music, like we play in punk bands and such. It's fucking sick. This isn't necessarily a punk band, but like, being like knowledgeably radicalized in that sense is priceless. And, like, like question some shit. Read some shit your parents told you never to look at. Like, do it. Open mind. Like my sister gave me a good one. Open your mind, but don't let your brain fall out.
Yeah, it definitely is about thinking critically and then getting discernment. And I think you guys hit on that perfectly. That's awesome. Very inspiring.
Not to go further on topic on this, but I wanted to shout you out, Stephanie, because that's one of the big things that I really respect about you, and it's like a huge part of our friendship, is how much you've worked for the scenes for the last 4 or 5 years that I've known you to give these platforms to people, to open up creative spaces and spaces for people to talk and explore conversation and new thoughts, new ideologies. That's huge, especially because you're working with, the Mexican American community, with a lot of people of color who aren't typically like, there's like this entrance curve and intimidation with this stuff. And I think you've worked really tirelessly to kind of break down those barriers and make people feel more secure in the Chicago music scene to do that. So shout out to you.
If we're having a Steph Blaze fest. Name a sister who's read more books in the last year.
Who has a book club? Who? No, I'm just kidding. I'm
How does
kidding.
that book club meet?
Mondays, Coastal Nights and Community House. We'd love to have you. But no, Gavin and guys, thank you so much for that. It's work that I feel like, and we were talking about this before the podcast, but it's like it's almost like a calling, right? And I was able to, hear the calling. I think that's important too, to like, you guys mentioned the hiatus and sitting through like having fun and all of that. Like, you have to sit in that silence and listen to really what's going on within yourself and the world. And I think like I was only able to respond to the community because of that, one, self journey, and then two, just listening to and like responding with my platform, with my friends, with the values that I have inherently. And so it's been an honor. So thank you so much for that. It's very sweet, and I appreciate it.
It's an honor to be here as part of it.
Yeah.
Like
Ruidosa loves you guys.
Doing it right now.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. When you guys asked us to help you throw the comeback show, I was like, yes, 100%, because like I said, it's an honor knowing you guys not only like as musicians but individually, and our values align. And I think that's also really important in collaboration for there to be like alignment and intention. And I couldn't think of a better band than to like literally use our platform to like yeah, let's do it. Let's go crazy. And also I'm a fan, so I was like super excited that you guys are finally coming back. I'm like, I would constantly ask Gavin or other mutual friends, like, hey, where's NIKKO Blue? Like, are they ever gonna come back?
That's a great question.
Yeah, like I don't know, Stephanie. Next question. But no, when Gavin finally told me, I was so ecstatic. I was like, finally, Chicago needs this, and we need you guys. So
For what it's
don't.
worth, I'm definitely the problem.
No,
To be
don't,
honest, dude, I'm definitely the problem.
don't leave for too long. It was no, I was studying. What is one thing you guys have had to overcome other than the hiatus, or even if you guys want to tie it back into that, and how did you guys overcome it? I think when we work in groups, and we've kind of alluded to this in a bit, like how can we overcome that? What lessons have you guys learned through working together?
So when we were in Puerto Rico, we played a show, and I stayed after the show to collect the money.
Yeah.
Alex and Logan
Holy shit! I remember this now. This is not.
went out.
I would not do anything different, but it's
Yeah,
not
they
my
went out
proudest
to the bar to party, and I was like, yeah, I'll meet up with y'all later. It was in the middle of our tour. I got T-boned by a drunk driver, and the car I was in flipped over, and I hit my head on my amp, bled everywhere. It's pretty gnarly, so I'd say, like, overcoming a car crash and almost dying
In Puerto Rico.
was, yeah. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to play the next show.
Wait, you still had
luckily,
to play a show?
He
Well, yeah.
voluntarily for the night.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, to be fair, Alex said, don't worry, we can find a replacement if we need to. I was like, I'm playing that show.
Like, we can do something.
The show must go on.
Well, the Happy guys were there, right? And like,
Yeah, with Zavi. Shout out to Hammy. Shout out to Flamboyant.
Shout out to Zavi Flambo.
Flambo just released a new album today or yesterday. Yeah.
Listen to that shit. I love
Yeah.
Flambo Yang. They're really good.
Yeah.
And those are the boys.
We want to
Yeah,
get
they are
them in
the boys.
Chicago.
They showed us, like, when we were in PR, they showed us the utmost hospitality, like offering us to stay at their
Yeah.
houses, showing us all their skate spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to their bars, putting their friends onto us. And, like, they got everybody to pop out. We
That's
had crazy shows.
awesome.
Like, and then they came to play in Chicago. We played great with
Yes.
them. It was so fun. Like, the guys in Chicago loved them too. Like,
Yeah.
background characters, like always itching to have Zabi out type
Yes,
thing.
shout out background character.
Shout out background character. I
Yeah.
love background character.
Yeah.
awesome.
That's a good one. I don't know.
Anything for you, Alex, to like overcome? How did you guys go through it,
I mean,
walk out of it?
I'll be so on. Like, of course, like what you said was a big one, but like, I don't know. I try not to waste my bandmates' time, and
That's awesome.
in like doing like things where like I'm like, I don't know, if we're playing shows, the type thing. Like, I can't ask you guys to be like at my beck and call to like play all the time and things like that. That's a big one. Kind of like respecting everybody else's time as if it were my own is kind of my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because I recognize we all have lives and things like that. But also, I don't know. I feel like through knowing you, like not even to get too deep into it, I've like reflected on like a lot of my own habitual actions, like particularly like substance use, things like that. Like, I feel like, you learn from everybody on certain things, and it's like certainly like kept me in check, and like, I don't know, like you've shown me how to live like cleanly in many ways.
I guess, yeah, you could say that overcoming just growing up and trying to learn to become our best selves. And I
True.
think we're all
Yeah.
on really good points right now. And I it's really cool when you can look at your best friends and say, you know what, they're happy, they're in a good spot. That's a really good feeling.
Yeah, that's really great. I realized too, like we've known each other for about 4 years, and yeah, I always get so happy to see you guys, and I don't know. I really remember like meeting and how different our lives were back then.
We had to overcome teaching Nick the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what were you gonna say?
No, he learned them so easily.
Yeah, that was like my big thing was, joining a project that was already, pretty firmly established, even if they hadn't been, playing for a while. Like it was still, an outsider joining this, this entity and making sure like it was the right vibe and the right fit. So definitely at first I was, very like, not nervous, just like a little anxious about, the prospects of that. But I think it's worked out really well.
I feel like I was like so antithetical to that too. I'm like, no, dude, just whatever you're doing.
Well, I remember when I was like, feedback. Do you have any pointers? And you're like, no, it was great.
Yeah, you're like, am I doing anything wrong? I'm like,
I love that.
nah, you're not doing anything
Now
wrong.
we're a week
Rock
away
on.
from the show, and you're like, well, actually, the way.
I'm actively toxic by not being toxic.
No, that's awesome. It's
At least
very
that's what I
organic.
But like what you were saying earlier, like I never feel like I'm adequate with what I'm doing musically. Like I always feel like I could be doing it better.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, I don't know. So,
It's a rock star thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've done so many things so poorly, and people tell me it's good. So I don't know.
That's true too.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing when you play a show and everybody's like, "Oh, that was the best show ever," and you're like, "I played like shit." And you're like,
There's been so many
Yeah.
countless, and it's not like NIKKO Blue. Like, I mean, we played bad NIKKO Blue shows. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
But, I've played
"Maybe you have."
I've played a lot of shows with like Gavin and Low Skin, and like, not to say that they've been bad shows. They're great shows, but like sometimes we'll like look at each other and be like, "Fuck, I couldn't hear shit that whole time. We sounded fucking terrible." And then someone's like, "That was awesome." I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
well, cool."
I think that's kind of led to also like the overall hiatus too, because like we wanted a reason to be doing it, and like this just feels right
Yeah.
to me. It's like we got new songs.
Yes.
We have new energy, some new motivation. It's not saying like, okay, we're gonna play shows every week now, but like, I don't know. It just feels like there's a reason to be more involved with that. You don't want to just be doing it for the sake of doing it, because that's how you tire and burn yourself
And
out.
that's how it starts to feel like work.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
We're in the era of living without expectation.
Yeah.
We're just in it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, to me, this is just hanging out. We just happen to be playing music on a stage, you know?
It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Now transitioning more a little bit toward growth and change. How has Chicago influenced NIKKO Blue, your sound, anything that goes into that creative process?
I feel like indirectly. It's been direct. It's been very like changed, and it's honestly like through like the churn of like just shows that we've played, be it NIKKO Blue or in other projects. Like I've just met a lot of projects at this point, and I'm like, wow, there's so many people that I think are like just so much better than me in many ways, and like they either bring like a cool thing to the table that I wasn't thinking about, maybe like they just play with a bunch of energy or something, and then also even playing like not in Chicago too. You see how people do it, like particularly in Puerto Rico. Like they were fucking great bands, like amazing bands all the time, and like it was just like a regular Saturday for them or something. And
This is something.
it's kind of like I don't know. You start seeing like your own gaps, and then you're like, well, whatever. Like it is what it is. Like, but there's something to be learned constantly, and it's a city just full of musicians, and like there's no shortage of people who are very good at everything.
Yes.
So just being like forever a student kind of type thing with like the plethora of like talent that's in the city, of course. But then like I don't know, in like a literal sense, like Chicago is a pretty interesting place from like the walking eye, and I think a lot of my music
Yes.
is like and like lyrics and like have been written like quite literally walking through a neighborhood, like taking a minute, like looking at something, like chilling out at a park, like a body of water type idea.
Yeah.
Those are the big things that influence me. I love my parks. I
Yeah.
like just going out into the park and getting lost.
Chicago has so many parks, so much nature. It's very calming and inspiring.
And like what you're saying too, like with all the abundance of musicians and the abundance of resources, it's interesting. Like look at so like I grew up in the Puerto Rico music scene where there's at that time there was maybe 2 or 3 venues.
Oh wow.
Everybody knew each other. Bands all shared the same members. Much smaller, but I do feel like, you know, in a lot of ways, the level of creativity that was on display in the Puerto Rico music scene, I found to be more influential for me. I found it to be more interesting. And I think it's because people didn't feel this pressure to be successful. Like, obviously, people want to be successful, but in a lot of ways, it was just like, we're just making music for our friends and we're living in the moment. And I think that is something that sometimes is found in Chicago. I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing, but I do feel like here in Chicago, the amount of musicians and the amount of resources adds this like inherent pressure to take advantage of that in some ways, you know?
Yeah.
But also like the positive side of that is like some of the kids just get hyped.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of bands that I'd seen pop up like after us, like not even to say like, oh, like they liked it and they did this or X, Y, or Z, but it's like, oh, it's like pretty immediate feedback if someone likes your thing. They're like, oh no, I really rock
Yeah.
what you're doing. Like, it really inspires me, and like, and it kind of like, it starts bouncing back. Like,
It
I feel like my
does.
relationship with like Jose, even like Jose
Mhm.
Israel and such, like, and like the Maldita
Fuck
Sea
Israel.
guys.
Oh my God.
Not Jose, but yes.
Yeah, free Palestine.
True,
Yeah.
true. My tax dollars did not need to do that.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like seeing that bounce back between like those guys, particularly like the Maldita Sea and like Jose like group, like I don't know, seeing them get hyped on it
Yeah.
made me get more hyped about life, and I was like, wow, dude, you guys taught me how to do shit. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I guess Chicago presents opportunities to always be learning. Like, you
Mhm.
don't have to feel stagnant in your craft. Like Alex is saying, like, people who are younger than us and like newer to the scene are like teaching us new approaches, and like if you allow yourself to be open to learn those things and you don't feel a type of way about it, like there's a lot of love and knowledge to be spread around, and I feel sorry for people who aren't unable to open themselves up to that kind of
True.
stuff. Yeah.
No, shout out to the youth in the scene right now. That's something so inspiring, exactly how you guys said. I see all of these young kids at a lot of the Ruidosa functions, at like just shows, and it is such a powerful testament to like, again, I don't know other cities, but I love that about Chicago, and I love that about the scene right now. Like, there's so, like, the youth is so powerful and so inspiring, and I don't know. I think it's like a renaissance almost. Like there's
It
this
is.
whole movement of like young kids like taking the fucking mic, like doing it with the guys and purpose and intention of like having fun, right? I think like that's something maybe, learning through us or other inspirations, but I do see that. I see that shift where it's like we don't, I mean, getting famous or popping off is cool, right? But it's really that intention of like we want to have fun. We see all of these like other people just doing it to have fun or to just
Right.
hang out with their friends, and so you could definitely see that reflect.
And it's not just young people leading the charge, but it's young people of color. And
True.
with Chicago historically being a majorly gentrified city with redlining policies dating back to the 1930s, when I started going to shows in 2018, it did not feel like there was a lot of mixed group of people at these shows. It felt like this group of people stay in this neighborhood. Like the Pilsen shows are in Pilsen. They're not going up to the Lakeview shows and vice versa. And now you got bands like Rotundos and Vatos Triste that are kind of leading this charge. But also like what you're doing at like Empty Bottle, like hosting these cumbia events.
True.
Where you have people who are now saying from all kinds, like, wait, I'm welcome at the punk shows, but not just that. Punks now feel welcome at the cumbia events. And like
they
there's
be
all this
there.
culture. Yeah. And the culture exchange, especially with the oppression that's happening, with this just pure evilness that's coming from ICE and the Trump administration, to have these creative safe spaces that young people of color are leading the charge in is huge. It's inspirational, and I don't know. It's just a very important thing to document and to take part in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like don't get me wrong, I love seeing more like Latino kids play like rock music. That's
Me
fucking sick.
too.
Like
Me-
like that
me
wasn't the
too.
case when I was like a shorty. Like
Yeah.
but at the same rate, like I really like kind of like how it is currently, because it's not just like Latino kids. It's like
Yeah.
no, like black kids, white kids, everybody get involved, because it's like really like it's not just one of us. Like either we like hang together or we hang separately, but we're all hanging type shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is a crazy world we're living in. Everyone's getting it.
Everyone's
Getting it. So the least we could do is like be together in like music, or be together in like shows and expression, and like or at least share
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
thoughts.
No, I definitely agree with that. And I like that you brought that up because, yeah, the scene when we were teenagers was so, I don't know if I could say segregated, but I almost want to say that. It was so, I just remember being like, a lot of the times, like, oh, I'm like a brown kid here. And now to just see the integration of like all of the diversity has been so sick. And it's almost like you had mentioned earlier, like we bounce off of our cultures, bounce off of each other, and there's nothing more than I love at the Cumbia Nights to see any type of person there dancing cumbia, being welcomed, and not being afraid to try something new. I think that's so, so cool that we've done
I
specifically.
will say I'm afraid to dance cumbia.
Well, you're
I
good at
find it
cumbia.
daunting and intimidating.
he was
taught
going
you
crazy.
I've taught
my boy to
Gavin.
dance
Yes.
like it was crazy.
I had to. Gavin was like, teach me. And I'm like, let's do it, Gavin. But it's like that. It's like, just don't be scared. Go have fun. Like it's very safe. It's very like apapachador. I don't know if you guys know that word. It's like, like calming and like in a motherly and like integrative way. So yeah, that's awesome. I love that. What is one thing that is missing in the scene right now? It could be something.
I need more like rap hardcore crossover.
Dude, that's sick.
I've been really into Death Grips lately, and they're not necessarily rap hardcore. I've been talking about it a lot.
Talk about it.
I need more of that shit though, and
Yeah.
I even in like our other band, like Low Skin, I'm like, yo, what'd be fucking crazy is if we got like a rapper just to come over this.
Yeah.
Shit. I need
Yes.
more of that, and you've talked about this at great length, where it's like like that kind of integration of like different like cultures in the same music. Like, what if you had like a cumbia hardcore kind of like rap crossover type idea, or what if you had like an emo song where you had someone rap over it kind of idea, like. And there's songs like that exist, but like I think like from a live instrumentation with like rapper featuring, I would love to have like a rapper on a NIKKO Blues song that's like kind of like an emo
Dude.
song. That'd be fucking crazy.
That'd be sick.
And I would love to produce that shit.
It's a cool idea.
More crossovers.
Yeah.
I need more crossovers like that, and it exists. I just don't see it done like in like a live instrumentation setting. Like
Right.
a lot of it's like sampled. Nothing wrong with that. But like I'd be interested to do that.
That's
Is
awesome.
anybody out there?
Hit him up.
Hit me up. Do it.
In terms of what's missing, I would say accountability.
Yeah,
like
We're gonna talk about
For-
it.
We're coming for the throat.
yeah, for all the positive aspects of Chicago having this big, huge music scene.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes within scenes. There's a lot of ways for people to hide from actions.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about like grooming culture. Honestly, a big reason why I don't go to a ton of shows is when I was growing up, and I'm sure when you were growing up and you growing up, like we all watched our friends get groomed and integrated into this drinking culture. Unfortunately, a lot of SA that happens in music shows.
Yeah.
And it's just tough to go to a show and like watch this all happen to a new generation. Like I always worry about like who's kind of going to be there
Right.
for these younger people. But I know when I go to like electronic music shows or raves or stuff, I've seen people, I'm like, I know what you did 4 years ago. Like you think you can hide here, but I know
Got
what
my
you did.
eye on you.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah, but I feel like we're getting better. I think it's important to have recognizable figureheads in
Right.
music scenes. I think, like Stephanie, for example, I'm sure if something happened at one of your shows, you're an identifiable person. I feel like people would know that they could go up to you and say, hey, this happened to me, or I saw something that happened. And I think that's the way things need to go and grow, is that if more people communicate and feel like they can talk to each other, the easier it is to prevent these things from happening, and knowing that there's actual repercussions and ways to prevent the downside of what happens in these creative spaces.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely something I think that Ruidosa does well. We focus on creating these safe spaces, and a lot of people have asked me that. Well, like, how do you create the safe spaces? And it's having these almost like mentors or hidden security guards that are securing the community, right? You know that you can trust them with their set of values and with holding up what they say that they're going to do. And that definitely has happened. And we've been very responsive, especially because, again, our commitment is to keeping the youth safe. We don't want these things to happen. They're, like we've mentioned, like life is so hard and it's so weird already that in the places where we're supposed to have fun, and if drinking's going to be involved, how do we do this safely? How do we change these generations and these like generational curses or addictions, to have those leaders that will be responsive and, really do care. And, that's something that Ruidosa does. And we choose to put that at the forefront. We have a lot of young kids coming out, like literally just turned 21 or in our 18 shows. And it's, to me, so crazy because I literally did not think that when we were that age, we looked that young.
I know, right?
But now I see, and they're so young. And it makes like almost like this weird motherly possession comes over me. And I'm like, yo, like, I want to make sure you guys are okay. Like, please, if you could drink, like, in my head, I'm like, please don't drink too much. But yeah, we're always watching. And I don't know if that's weird, but we are always watching. We're very attentive.
Especially as you like late 20s of your life, at least, you start thinking like, I remember when that shit happened to my friend.
Yeah.
And you just get rageful like when you see some like really weird shit happening.
And we're not scared to speak up too. I think that's important. Like you said,
you're creating these spaces that like back when we were 18. You sometimes, if you wanted to go see a good show, risk putting yourself in a type of environment that you might not always want to be in.
Sure.
And that just kind of, you're susceptible to things, you're trying things. I think creative spaces are supposed to be places to break away from trauma and to find new journeys and new starts. And it's just a bummer that there are people who try to take advantage of young people who are looking for new opportunities. And there are people out there who are looking to induce trauma on people. And it's a very sad thing.
Hurt people. And it's really about changing that.
Yeah. I mean, like, you think about going to shows when you're super young and you're like all rosy-eyed, like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, you almost kind of desire to have that risk or whatever. Not like the risk of like getting hurt or getting abused or any of that such, but like
there's a freedom in the
there's
risk.
Some liberation in the risk, and that's a very human thing. And I think like part of like being like in unkhood almost, I'll say, is that like you have to more or less like, you want to like create a place for someone to have that kind of journey that you had, but like you want to put the clap down on when something happens that's like too much, someone's in danger. And it's such a weird line to walk. Yeah. It's such a weird line to walk as you see it happening from like the outside. But someone kind of has to, and and also it comes down to education.
Exactly.
Like, educate the youth that this shit's not always cool. Educate the youth that drugs are not always cool. That people like can get really sick. People can die, and that not everybody who's trying to get up on you is your friend. Yeah. Not everybody that you hang around with is your friend like that.
That might be the best lesson for the kids, honestly. Yeah. Because it's very easy to fall into that trap at that age, especially.
Yeah. I mean, it's like just keep good. It's hard to even know what good company is as a kid.
It's impossible.
It's even like as an adult, you realize it's like part of life is like what's the George Clinton quote? It's like gardening the thought child of your mind, or no, gardening the thought garden of your mind, something like that.
I don't know,
something,
but that's
like
good.
That.
Yeah, it's like if you plant sweet fruit, you get if you plant sweet thoughts, you get sweet fruit, and if you plant rotten thoughts, it just rots your meat.
You get a fucked up apple.
For real. I'd be listening to Parliament a lot.
That's awesome. I love this conversation, and I agree, education is the way to go.
And also one of our side bands that we play in, Low Skin, which over the last 3 years was kind of what Alex and I were primarily doing. When I joined in, I was replacing our buddy Pancho's sister, Stacy, who was like
displacing Stacy.
Stacy's at that time was like 15, so I originally started playing with them for the 21 Up shows.
Yeah.
But then we had lineups where I was on bass, Alex was on guitar, Stacey was playing drums. And a lot of the times when we got show offers, the first thing Alex and I would look at each other and say is this an environment we would feel comfortable having Stacey in?
That's like the number one thing.
Like, there's a lot of shows we turned down.
Yeah.
Because we were like, honestly, I don't feel like that's
even
a good.
After she was in the band, like, if I couldn't bring Stacey here, would
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I wouldn't feel comfortable playing a spot that we wouldn't let our friend's sister or feel comfortable letting our friend's sister hang out with. Yeah. It's like we don't want to support that or enable that.
I mean, I can't speak for Stacy or anything though. She's hard as nails though, and she still plays, which makes me super happy.
She plays drums in a band.
To see her journey from afar. Like I'd love to see her journey from up close too. But like, hey.
What's the band? Crash Out.
Yeah, shout out Crash Out.
Shout out Crash Out. I love that for her, and I love that for Chris and Pancho. I think that's really good. It's really, it's very natural, Like do your thing.
Yeah.
What makes you happy.
And she even stopped playing drums with us for a little bit because she needed to be a teenager. She needed to enjoy her life, and that's never advice to youth. don't forget to be young.
Don't forget.
Because it goes super fast, and then you're like, shit, there's things I wish I did when I was younger that we're not even old yet, you know, we're all in our late 20s, early 30s, and but it goes like that. So don't forget that you're still young, you're still growing, and appreciate, you know, don't look to the destination, be a part of the journey.
Straight up. I'd be talking to my niece. She's like 8, and I'm like, and she's like, I hate school. It's terrible. And then I have to go deal with my like coming home and like doing my homework. I'm like, one day.
One day.
Taxes.
No, that's so real. What are some local artists or people we should be paying attention to right now? I know there's a lot of talent. We've been shouting out pretty much a lot of the creatives and like the bands that we enjoy. But yeah, what are some bands that you guys are listening to that you're fans of?
I feel like our unofficial, like, I don't know, it's not a competition, but best friend bands, probably background character.
Background character.
I love Bash. I love Jenny. I love Salem. They're all super cool, super nice. Anything that Zabi and Wonky do in Puerto Rico, so
Yes.
Flamboyant, I think they're not
Hammy.
Chicago, and Hammy,
Yeah.
of course, with
Puerto
3M.
Rico's music scene. If you just reach out to me, I'll put you on.
Reach out to Gavin.
But also like all of our friends' bands, like all of Poncho's bands, Crash Out. You know, I really like I like everything that like Jose and his friends do. I love like the Maldita Sea crew. Yeah, it's not a competition, but nobody rips on the state of Israel harder than background character. I'll say that. Period, dude. If they die, we all know who did it.
Yeah.
I'd say shout out Kurt Vise.
Sure, shout out
Yeah,
Kurt Vise.
yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Homie puts it down.
Kurt Vise.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Love that.
Some
Yeah.
of the craziest sounds.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool bands. There's Arte are really good. Prime Angel Weather's a newer kind of like post-hardcore noise rock band that's really sick. My friend Angelica has a new band called Shrines that just played at Bottle, but I didn't get to go see them, but I'm sure they're sick.
Shout out Gavin's band, Blush Scars.
Blush Scars.
Shout out particularly the first record.
The one that I'm not on.
I love
Yeah,
the second
yeah.
record too, but ironically, I bot both of
You're
the
like,
records.
something about the drumming on the
First
new
record-
one is
First
just...
record drumming is so great. Gavin's like, that's the one I'm not on. Like, oh. Second one's great too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, my bandmates in Blush Scars have another project called Pudding. That is, imagine if the B-52s were Scolder, whatever name, Scully and Mulder from X-Files. Anybody know the X-File character? Whatever.
What?
They do a whole X-Files thing,
X-Files.
and it's a fun live thing, but they're sick. Yeah. You have X-Files, right?
I don't. I have what's it called? Alien Encounters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The X-Files, what? The movie?
The characters in the show. It's Scully and Mulder.
Dana Scully and Fox Mulder.
Mulder. Okay, yeah. They do an X-Files thing, and they're a cool duo. Pudding.
No, X-Files is the bomb.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know. There's too many. Augment.
Augment's cool.
I have the Augment cassette in my car, and I bring it to the skate park on my boombox always.
Oh my goodness.
That one's great. Such a good cassette. Such a good cassette. I love playing with them every chance I get. They're so cool, guys.
Crisis Actress.
Crisis is great.
Really, really cool band. My buddy Brooks plays in that band. I like them a lot.
I have their cassette
Oh.
too. They're super good. Then also they don't play a lot right now, but Bovice. Fucking awesome.
Bovice, yeah.
Me and
Where's
Jess,
Bovice?
Bovice, if you're listening to this, we need
We need
you.
you.
Please
My
come back.
girlfriend loves your band like so much. I love your band.
Stephanie loves your band.
Yeah.
Ruidosa loves your band. So
fellow Bulls.
you guys are having a comeback show. It's going to be March 14th at B Kitchen. And yeah, what are you looking forward to the show? I know we said no expectations, but how do you guys feel about it?
It's cool because it's the last place that we played at.
Oh my
ironically.
goodness.
Every time we play there, we take a 3-year
No,
hiatus.
guys, no.
See you guys in 2029.
Yeah.
I just want to let it happen, and I just want to have fun with my guys, and I'm excited to see the other bands play too. It's been a long time since I've seen any of them play, and like particularly like Wounds too. Like oddly enough, it's like lineage of other bands that we've played with, a lot of like their members. So I'm kind of hyped on that. I've partied with Polo once before, actually, too. Before I think Wounds was a thing, or maybe it was like super early Wounds. We were all at like the Barrel or whatever. So that's gonna be cool to see.
I met Polo years ago when I was doing bike delivery.
Oh shit!
And I delivered Insomnia cookies to the door, and they're like, "Do you want to come in and take a shot?" And I put like Cards Against Humanity or whatever that game is called, and did shots with them. And now we're playing a show together.
I always thought Polo's name was Pollo. No, they're a really cool person though. I think just like doing it, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, I mean, Beat Kitchen's a good place too.
Yeah. I just really like the songs that we have, and I'm just like excited about playing them. I think we play them too slow when we practice, and then you get the adrenaline of playing live, and it's gonna be the right speed.
Yeah.
And that's the entire reason we're playing a show is because we play live faster than the recordings, and I want to hear it that way. So I've devised a whole plan for that.
So just closing up, or Nick, did you have anything?
I didn't have anything to add. Just looking forward to getting out there, seeing everybody, playing with these guys.
You've played in other bands before, like live already? Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know how it's gonna be. Okay, cool. So
I'm looking forward to being confused on stage and making mistakes with my best friends. Yeah.
that happened?
All the time.
Oh, that's like the whole show experience.
I think that's a big reason too why we stopped playing shows. It's just kind of like, hey, you want to go to like a dark bar where you can't hear each other and talk, and when you can't hear each other on stage, and you might make mistakes and just get like all sweaty and make $20, or do you want to like hang out at my house, get a pizza, and watch Terminator on VHS? Yeah. To each their own, though.
To each their own.
Well, that's awesome. We can't wait. We're literally so freaking excited. Okay, to close up, what advice would you give musicians in this current era? And we could just go down the line.
You should ask your parents about the music they listen to currently and when they were your age. You'll find some really good suggestions in there. You should definitely get off of listening to streaming platforms if you can, and then you should I mean, like, put your music on platforms, whatever. I think we're entirely guilty of that. I don't really, people want to listen to it wherever they want to listen to it. That's fine, but get recommendations from people in real life. Listen to it, incorporate it into whatever you do. Listen to music that you don't necessarily think you would like, because there's a lot of like different production that happens and that's really beautiful. Don't discount things because of your initial perception. Be open-minded. Be humble, particularly, because there's a lot of people in the world that are better than me at everything, but you probably suck, and like I suck. You know what I'm saying? Don't mansplain. Holy fuck! Don't mansplain as a musician. It's played out. Think other people are right more than you. Definitely take more music recommendations from your parents.
Say find yourself an Alex like I did, and start 5 or 6 different projects with him.
The 40-person grindcore band.
If you can find people that you work well with and you collaborate with, and it allows those opportunities for you to be creative at your fullest, don't let that slip away. Even though we weren't playing for 3 years, we were still making music. Some which might get released, some might never get released, but we had a blast doing that, and that's what's important is remember, it's not just the destination, it's the journey. And if you're not enjoying what you're creating or the music you're working on, but you're just putting stuff out for the sake of putting stuff out, I would say take a step back and find out if that really aligns with what you're trying to do. And another thing I would say, like, look at the scenes you're in, look at the people around you, do daily check-ins, make sure that you have people that you feel like align with your own values. Don't let yourself kind of fall into tropes and, corruption of others. It can get really competitive, but at the end of the day, it's all just about making a song that you think is cool and that's what it is.
Yeah, I think it's important to always try to challenge yourself and not give up on something just because you don't think you can do it or you think it might be a bad idea. Like, it's good to at least, give things a shot and see where it goes before we throw in the towel. And I think with not just music, but just really like life in general, that's probably an important thing. But with music especially, and in this context, I think it's good to, give things a shot, try it out, see what sticks. Yeah.
Thanks again. Well, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you guys on. This has been I learned so much and it was very inspiring. I know I'm going to stay with a lot of what we shared here. Make sure to be there at B Kitchen Saturday, March 14th. Support your local scene. We'll be there. And yeah, remember to be loud, to be you, and to be ruidosa.